Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Send your request in to designs@patioheat.com for your personalized recommendations. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this residential application. And so we have three different seating areas. We have a bar stool seating height over here. We have a dining space over here that might be a little bit larger or moved over to the right a little bit more. And then we have a reclining space over here with a fireplace. You can see we have some fans. We're going to look at using just 3 fans. They were wondering if they could use 4 or 3 or what would work best. Also, just a side note, they did mention that there is going to be recessed lighting in here, but they really want to have those heaters positioned most ideally, or have the best output. So they're going to work around the heating system for the lighting fixtures, and I would have to say that that's a really good idea. So just bear that in mind. Now, there are a couple of changes that we made to the plans itself. One of the changes is we moved the fireplace to the center of the overall structure. So from this edge over here to this over here, the center of that is where the fireplace is now. Now, I put a TV set here, just assuming that they would probably have one there, just to make a comment about that. And then also just to note that the fans are in center as well, as far as from this point here left to right. And I think that's about it as far as the ceiling is concerned. Also, the seating position over here might be moved over a little bit to the right. They did mention that they're going to have some accordion style doors that open out slightly, so that's something to think about when you are going to do that. However, I think we have about a 2 foot, almost, it's a 1 foot 11 inch distance out here, and I think they're gonna maybe come out maybe 3 to 6 inches further than this edge over here. Again, this might be pushed over to the right. So what I'm gonna do is just center the heater above this space here, and I'll talk about that in just one moment. And then also the fans themselves are going to be steel bladed fans. That's really a good idea for getting the heater as close as you can in certain circumstances, and then not having clearance issues be a problem. So this particular fan is a little bit higher than the others, and this is a larger fan than the others as well. I think I knocked these down about maybe 20% in overall dimension from this one here. So let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions here. And so you can see here we have a 35-foot throw here, and we have a no throw over here. Let's go ahead and put that on here real quick. And we have a distance from this edge to the actual outer edge of the post at 14 foot roughly, and then to this outer edge over here at 15 foot. So just bear that in mind. And then you can see we have a height here of roughly 10 foot for the finished ceiling, and there's a slope ceiling over here. It starts over here at this edge at 8 foot 2. And let's see, just wanted to mention where I actually placed this fan. I didn't place it centered between this beam and this beam, and that's just to give me a little bit more distance away from a potential heater location. So this is actually at 4 foot 10 inches from the edge of the fireplace, which you can see is protruding just slightly out more than the beam itself. So looking at the fan itself, we've got a 6 foot diameter fan. I have it drop down roughly to this mark right here at 1 foot 4 7/8, and that might be a little bit different, but it should be okay right in that general vicinity there. All right, so I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and turn off those dimensions, and I am going to switch the ceiling up here to what I would recommend being probably the best application for this. Now, being that the rafters would probably run this direction from left to right here and from right to left up here, And then there's some ceiling joists that are going to be up here, probably running parallel with this line. I think the best placement for any heaters are going to be going parallel with those ceiling rafters, if that's true, as far as if they are going to be in that dimension or distant direction, rather. The other thing you can see here is I have 4 of the 6,000 watt units at this mounting height, and now these are not centered. So let's go ahead and look at the distances that I have on these particular heaters. So first of all, the front distance here, we have 10 foot center to center, and that is centered within this span here. From this wall over here, however, I have 3'6" to the center of the heater, and then an additional 8'6" to the center of the heater over here. The reason behind that is if I was to try to center it within this whole entire span, I'd be really heating up this edge over here, and also having an issue possibly with the doors coming out, as well as not utilizing the heat that it's actually putting out. So let's go ahead and look at the footprint of the heaters. So you can see here we have a very good footprint for this inner portion of the patio with the flat roof ceiling, rather the ceiling. We have good crossover rays throughout the whole entire span, so this would be a very uniform and very comfortable position out here. Now you can see that we're actually covering some of this space over here. Now this isn't going to be the exact type of seating that they have, but you can see that the space out here beyond this post right here is going to be heated okay with these 2 units over here. And let's see if there's anything else in reference to this. Obviously, if the dining space is switched, let's say we switched this here just even 90 degrees, and we were to push that heater over, or excuse me, push these over the chair if I can get it. Let's see here. Let's move that. Maybe we'll go 36 inches over. Yeah. Let's try that one more time. Alright, let's just go 48. So this is, say you had a seating position like this and maybe a little bit larger of a table, you would still get a very good heat output for this particular area here. Alright, looking at the clearances below the heaters. Now this is one of the issues with regards to the fan dimensions. Now I'm going to put the dimension back on here just so we can take a look at a 6 foot diameter fan, and you can see that we are actually in that combustible area, and that's why it's very beneficial to have a steel bladed fan, because those are non-combustibles, and that would be great for an application like this. I'm just going to move this over for 1 second to just mention something here, and what that is, and it's going to be, let's see here if we can get it. If we're physically in the ray itself, then a metal fan blade still is going to be affected by that ray itself. So just bear that in mind, that that's not something you really want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and push that back over here, and let's go ahead with the next option that we can add in here. Let me turn off these rays for a second and turn off the clearances. And what I want to look at, I'm also going to go ahead and turn off the dimensions. So what I'm looking at is how to heat up the bar stool area over here. So I originally thought that it would be best to place the heater over here, but as you can see, I have it over here centered within the fireplace area. And if you look at the footprint of heat as it comes off, this is a Slimline SL 4024. As you can see, right below the heater, you don't get much heat. So I was kind of concerned about that. So I originally placed it over here, but we weren't getting any heat. You can see with the Slimline over here, we weren't getting any heat along the edge of the wall where this bar stool is at. So I determined that this would actually be the best application over here, and also the fact that your seating position isn't right under the heater itself at 45 degrees. And this is a 4,000 watt slimline unit, and again, we need to make sure we maintain that clearances above the heater at 6 inches, and then mounted on a vertical surface, you can use the OEM brackets at 45 degrees, and you're fine with regards to the clearances below. So you just don't want anything out in front of the heater itself, like a fan or something combustible like that in the physical ray itself. But anyways, you can see here that the ray is just penetrating just fine. Now, if this was a 4,000 watt unit, definitely on a bar stool seating height, and a heater mounted at this height, which is, I believe, was around at 8-foot mark. This would be awfully hot for most people, so I would definitely recommend a control system for this particular heater, or a 3,000 watt unit. And even a 3,000 watt unit might be too warm during maybe a little bit higher temperatures in the cooler months, let's call it. But in any case, just bear that in mind. That's what I would recommend being the best for this particular application. Over here we have the same slimline 4,000 watt unit, and I think I have it mounted a little bit deeper here, so let's go ahead and just move that out here, maybe an inch here roughly. I think that's about right. We'll go ahead and move it one more time against the wall itself, and there we go. Alright, so what I wanted to talk about here is you have a clearance here of 6 inches above, 45 degree tilt from straight out down, 45 degrees. And then again, having a TV set here, you can see the ray itself isn't physically in that hitting the TV set, so it's not going to affect the ray, is not going to affect the TV. Now, I don't have the answer about the physical clearance area over here, so you may want to, move the bracket out, get a 2-inch longer bracket. Personally, I don't think it's necessary, but that might be required if you do have a TV set here. But again, you're not in the ray, so I can't see how that the ray itself would affect the performance of the TV. It's just that you're not meeting the technical clearances below the heater at a 45 degree vertical mount on that. So a 2-inch bracket, extended bracket, might be ideal for that. There's a 2-inch, a 4-inch, and a 6-inch extended bracket. Up here you can see that with the smaller fan, we're not in that zone as well, so that's another reason why we move that fan out from the center of the space here. So alright, well, I think that is about it. If there's any questions, please feel free to make a comment or give us a call. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetize. YouTube does not support us in any way unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.